The Clockmaker's Secret. In the small, mist-shrouded town of Evermore, nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a peculiar clockmaker named Elias. His shop, tucked away at the end of a cobblestone street, was filled with intricate timepieces of every kind. Some chimed melodiously, others ticked with mesmerizing precision. But there was one clock he kept hidden, a masterpiece unlike any other. This clock, known only as the Kronos Ark, was not for sale. It stood behind a velvet curtain in the back of his workshop, encased in glass. The clock's face was a swirl of stars, and its hands glowed faintly, as if alive. Rumours swirled around the town that Elias had built it using forbidden knowledge, gleaned from ancient texts passed down through generations. One stormy evening, a curious young woman named Clara entered the shop. She was a traveller, drawn to Evermore by tales of the enigmatic clockmaker. As she browsed the shelves, her gaze fell on the velvet curtain. "What's behind there?" she asked, her voice tinged with wonder. Elias hesitated, his weathered face unreadable. "Something that shouldn't be meddled with," he replied. But Clara's curiosity was insatiable, and after much persuasion, Elias relented. He pulled back the curtain, revealing the Kronos Ark. Clara stepped closer, captivated. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "What does it do?" Elias sighed. "This clock doesn't just tell time. It controls it. With the right sequence, it can turn back the hours, pause the present, or even glimpse the future. But such power comes at a price." Clara's heart raced. She thought of her mother who had passed away years ago. "Can it bring back someone from the past?" she asked. Elias's eyes darkened. "Perhaps. But the past is not meant to be rewritten. Interfering with time creates ripples, and those ripples can become tsunamis." Despite his warning, Clara couldn't resist. That night, when the town was asleep and the storm raged on, she crept back into the shop. The clock glowed faintly as if anticipating her arrival. She hesitated for a moment, then turned the hands backward. The room filled with a blinding light, and when it subsided, Clara found herself in her childhood home. Her mother stood in the kitchen humming a tune just as she had so many years ago. Tears streamed down Clara's face as she ran to embrace her. But something was wrong. As the days passed, Clara noticed strange occurrences. People in Evermore began to forget things, first small details, then entire memories. The town itself seemed to wither, its vibrant colours fading into grey. Desperate, Clara returned to the shop where Elias was waiting. "You've disrupted the timeline," he said gravely. "The clock is unravelling the fabric of reality. You must set things right." With a heavy heart, Clara turned the hands forward, restoring the timeline. She found herself back in the present, the shop quiet once more. Her mother was gone, but so were the strange anomalies. Elias placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Some things are meant to stay in the past," he said softly. Clara nodded, understanding the weight of his words. From that day on, Clara dedicated herself to cherishing the present, knowing that time, though fleeting, was a gift. And as for the Kronos Ark, it remained behind the velvet curtain, its secrets locked away, waiting for the next curious soul to uncover its mysteries.